I had a freak accident, ended up fracturing 3 bones in my face, ended up getting a concussion, and for a while it was looking like, man, I'll be out for 6 months, maybe more, maybe a little bit less or whatever, kind of a lot of unknown because it's a strange part of my body.
Together foreign, you know what I mean? Sling that thing.
Close.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Not bad.
got some more balls in there?
Yeah.
Check me out now. Jackie Robinson. Here we go. You know, Sanders. Alright. Bat flip. Out of the park. See how it is, man. I got nothing.
There we go. You look like you've been playing baseball your whole life, Rod. Get right in. Boy.
Workout with my dog, send him off to college right, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So it's light, little something light, you know what I mean? With Johnny Lane, remember the name.
Sir.
Silvestri, Jonathan Lane. We're here today for our first episode of the series we're doing called FDA, Faith, Dreams, and Ascension. So basically, here's the student athlete, Jonathan Lane, CCA, Calvary Christian Academy legend, you know, football record holder for interceptions within a season, also record holder for interceptions within a game, baseball, phenom right here. You got a scholarship for baseball to go play at North Alabama. Humble guy. He doesn't like when people talk about him. You know, he likes to keep it low key. But so Jonathan, I've known him for a while, for quite some years, through his brother, through his dad. All of them are in the ministry, and great faith-based family. They love Jesus. Athletic family. Talented family, and they do a lot of great things for the kingdom of God, for the community. And so respect him, respect his family, and respect what they're doing. So without further ado, we're gonna hop straight into it. Let's talk about faith, man. Obviously, big on faith, man of God, I respect, you know what I mean, your walk with the Lord, and really just how you really try to honor God with not only with your words, but with your actions. And you're a leader. People look up to you, you know what I mean, in the classroom, on the field, wherever you go. When you walk into a room, people feel your presence, you know what I mean? Like, hey, this is a man of high character, of excellence, you know? And so, your faith, man. So like, basically, when did you give your life to Jesus, and what made you decide to surrender your life to Christ?
So I gave my life to Jesus at a young age. I grew up in a house full of believers, and
What age?
I'd say it was 4 or 5 years old.
4 years old?
Yeah.
I gotta say when I was 7. 4?
Yeah.
Boy, told you he was smart. He knew, man, smart as heck. 4 years old, he already understands the gospel. That's what's up.
Yeah, but I'd say going into my sophomore year of high school is when I got baptized, and that's when I feel like I really made that decision for myself and really like stepped into that new chapter. Whereas like growing up, you don't really growing up in a Christian household, you don't really go through like many trials in my house, at least, and not really like testing my faith or anything, but I'd say when I was a sophomore and I had a better understanding of things. When I got baptized, I made that decision fully by myself, and that's when I really tapped into that faith, I think.
That's dope. So when you're a sophomore, you rededicated your life. You're like, God,
right.
I'm trying to make my faith my own, not my parents' faith.
Exactly.
Not my family's faith. It's mine, and I understand what you've done for me on the cross, all that good stuff. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
So describe some ways like Jesus has grown you throughout life and your time as an athlete. So personally, and also on the field, you know, how has Jesus grown you, you know?
I would say personally, playing 2 different sports all through high school is definitely 2 different crowds of people. And it's been really cool. I mean, God's taught me how to be a witness to all different types of people, whether that's someone that I've played with my entire life in football, or someone that I'm just playing in a travel baseball summer with or whatever. It's been really cool to be able to build relationships with different people from all over the place. I mean, I was playing on a team with a bunch of kids from Puerto Rico, which was a blast. I mean, they taught me some Spanish, and it was a really cool relationship.
Wait, so you played in Puerto Rico, or
I didn't play in Puerto Rico, but they were here for the summer.
Oh, okay.
And we were playing with them. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So it was really cool to be able to be a witness to all different types of people and really test my faith in that way and kind of be bold in that.
Gotcha. That's awesome, man. That's cool. So like, why do you think God has placed you on this planet, and for what purpose you think He's placed you here for? It's biggie. It is
a biggie, but I feel like the simple answer is it's in the Bible. I mean, I'm wearing the shirt right here, Purpose. My brother made that shirt.
Yeah, shout out to Josh.
One word brand. Yeah.
One word.
Yeah, but I would say my purpose is really to make God known on this earth, and then to love others. I mean, it says that simply in the Bible. Love God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. So that's what I feel like my purpose is.
Amen, for sure. That's awesome. That's awesome right there. And so, are you ready to boldly share your faith on a secular campus? Like on the campus and in the locker room? Because obviously for me, I've been in the Division I locker room and secular school at UCF, FIU, you know, and I know what goes on in the locker room, what they talk about, and really it's on campus, temptation with the ladies,
right.
And the Bible says like the spirit is willing but the flesh is weak, you know what I mean? So you can never get too cocky or too conceited. Okay, I haven't failed and this and that. Look at all the great men in the Bible that have fallen, you know what I mean? And so obviously for me, I learned I always have to be on guard no matter what. You know what I mean? So for you, are you ready to boldly share your faith, and how are you going to do that? And on the field and in the locker room and on campus, how do you plan to do that? Like how do you do that, and are you ready for that?
I feel like I am ready for it. I mean, it's going to be a huge step of faith, but I plan to do that by, I mean, the guys in my locker room, I'm going to be with them the most. I mean, you know that from football. Yeah. Like, you're with your teammates. Like,
really become like family.
Yeah, probably like over half the time that you're at school, you're with your teammates and stuff, and you're doing different things. And whether that's in the locker room or out of the locker room or on the field or in the dining hall or whatever. But what I like to do is I like to just build a relationship with them first. I mean, I obviously want to set myself apart as someone that's different, but I don't want to be someone that's overbearing or really like in people's face about it.
A Bible basher.
Exactly.
Slap the Bible in the head.
You're
sinner.
It's not the way to go
Believe.
about it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I really hope to just build relationships up, and then invite guys to church. If they want to come, they can come. If not, I'm not gonna treat them any differently or really be like a Bible basher, like you said.
Yeah. Because Jesus, you know, he always wanted to love. You know what I mean? Because love is what compels people. You know, not hate. Can't be, you know?
Right.
So it's about love. You gotta love them, you know, and let them identify you through your love, through compassion. You know what I mean? So that's a big part. And so with the questions regarding, you know what I'm saying, your ambition, your dreams, you know, so like Jonathan's really athletic. He played multiple sports growing up. Like, how many different sports did you play growing up?
So I would say from the time I was really young, I played 4 main sports. I mean, basketball, soccer, football, and baseball. And then all throughout high school was really just baseball and football.
Gotcha. So basketball, football. And you said soccer as well?
A little bit of soccer, maybe like soccer? 1 or 2 years of soccer.
Yeah, soccer was the first sport I learned how to play growing up. You know, Haitian, you know, that's That's what we play in Haiti, you know?
Oh yeah.
So that's cool. So obviously baseball is your favorite.
Baseball has been my longtime favorite for sure. I mean, ever since I can remember, I was swinging a bat, and it got passed down to me through my brother and my dad and stuff. But that was just kind of the sport that our family like revolved around. I mean, baseball is just was the sport that I always loved the most. So
what did you play first though? What was your first sport like?
First sport was baseball.
Baseball?
Yeah.
You playing catch with your dad?
Yeah. I mean, when I was like really young, I mean, it's kind of funny because I'm a natural lefty, but before I could even write, I was already throwing a baseball with my right arm.
Whoa.
Swinging a baseball bat with my right, like the right side and stuff.
Wait, so you write with your left hand?
I write with my left hand.
Whoa.
They probably learned that when I was like 3 or 4 years old or whatever, but I had already been playing baseball and
it's cool.
Kind of getting that stuff down right-handed, so they didn't want to switch me over.
That means you're smart, because if you're left-handed, that means this part of the brain is activated. They say, I don't know. So that means
I'll take it.
You know what I'm saying? So that means you're a really smart guy then. Okay. So you'll say you started playing baseball at the age of 4, 3?
I probably started playing in an organized league around 4 or 5. Yeah.
So basically, what made you fall in love with the game was because your whole family played baseball, and it was like a good family quality time.
Yeah, it was something that was really passed down to me from my brother. I mean, from my oldest brother, I really looked up to him a whole lot growing up, and then it just kind of, like me being young and me watching him play baseball just made me love it even more. Yeah.
Yeah, so what about football? So, stellar football player right here.
Yeah.
You know? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, football was always a lot of fun for me because I'm just a really competitive person, and football would really bring that out of me, and I could really get physical with other people and really like bring out that fire in a game. I mean, still to this day, I know you can agree with this. Yeah. Nothing compares to a football game. I mean,
it's like
the adrenaline, the rush, everything just boils down to that 60 minutes on the field and just going all out with your brothers. I mean, football was a lot of fun to play.
Yeah. For me, I look at football, you know, as a former college football athlete, still training, go pro. Football is like, it's a gladiator sport.
Right.
People have died playing this sport. Obviously, people have died playing many sports, but you know, when you step on that field, it's war, you know, and so the adrenaline that you're just talking about, that's a real thing that you experience, and it makes you love that aspect of the game. And you know, a lot of times you go against people that's way bigger than you. You have to face your fears. And so I remember growing up, for me, it was a David versus Goliath mentality. You know what I mean? I remember especially Little League ball, where we got to do hitting drills, lay on your back, blow the whistle. You know,
you better rise up or you're on your back.
I remember praying like, God, I know David beat Goliath. I just repeat that in my head, like David beat Goliath, you know. But I just love it, you know. So that's awesome. So basketball is just like something extra.
I mean, basketball, I wasn't very skilled at it. It was just kind of one of those things where I would play pretty good defense, couldn't really score the ball a whole lot, but yeah, I stopped playing basketball I think when I was in middle school.
Gotcha. So what pro MLB team like did you dream of playing for growing up?
I always just dreamed for playing for the hometown team, the Miami Marlins. I mean, it's always been a dream of mine to play in the hometown, you know, play at the stadium that I grew up going to all the games at and stuff, and that's definitely always been a dream of mine.
Plus your dad was a chaplain when they won the championship, right?
Yeah, so my dad, he's still the chaplain for the Marlins, but he started back in, I believe, 2002, the year I was born, or somewhere around there, and he was there when they won a World Series, and I've had a lot of experiences down there growing up, just going on the field every once in a while and
Seeing
stuff.
The players and all that?
Yeah, getting to meet some players has been really cool to me. So I'd say the Marlins definitely have been a team that I've dreamt to play for a long time.
For sure. That's awesome. You know, so some life lessons that you think is growing up playing sports, like what are some key life lessons you think playing sports has taught you?
So first of all, I would say, I guess the cliche answer is always like perseverance or whatever. But I feel like in my life, that's really been what sports has taught me is really perseverance. I've battled through a lot of injuries. I've battled through a lot of coaches that didn't really believe in me when I was younger and when I wasn't really tapped into my potential yet or whatever. And I feel like sports have really taught me that. And in a huge way, not just like persevere through this little challenge, but persevere through that mountain. And then once you get to the top of it, you can enjoy it after that.
For sure. So persevering through injuries and really just perseverance. That's one of the key lessons sports have taught me as well. Perseverance, for sure.
Yeah,
you know,
never quit.
Never quit. And so tell us about some of these. Tell us about this future in North Alabama. What excites you about it? That you're about to be playing Division I college football in a different state. I mean, Division I college baseball.
No, you're good.
Division I college baseball at a different state, away from home. So tell me about all that. What are you thinking? Like, what are your thoughts? What are your emotions? What are some things you're looking forward to? What excites you with these new days ahead of you?
Yeah, so I'd say what really excites me the most is just being in a new environment. Not that being in South Florida was anything bad at all, but it was just really kind of clustered for me, kind of claustrophobic, not enough like green grass. I mean, I told you before we started, green's my favorite color.
Is green.
I like being out of nature a lot, going on hikes, going in lakes and stuff. I mean,
I love nature. I just came from Michigan.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the outdoorsy stuff.
Exactly. So that's something I'm really looking forward to, kind of being in a more rural area and where there's a lot more land and a lot more things to do outdoors rather than just being on top of each other in a neighborhood in South Florida with all the concrete around you and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing that I'm looking forward to.
Awesome. Okay. So some of your career goals for baseball or just life in general, what are some things you're looking forward to? Like, do you plan on going pro? Do you plan on doing something else?
Right.
So what are some of your career goals?
So my ultimate goal obviously is to play professional baseball. And it's easy for anybody to say like, oh, I want to go pro, but I feel like in my life personally, I'm really pouring into that long-term investment of investing in myself and really building up everything in me to hopefully achieve that goal one day. But all I can do is put in the work and just God can do the rest. I mean, if Lord willing, I make it pro, and then that's what happens. But if not, then I'd really like to be a business owner one day. I've always wanted to start my own business.
That's cool. That's good.
Yeah.
I believe you can make it pro. I believe you can start your business.
Hey.
You can do both.
You know what I'm
saying?
Exactly.
I believe
you
in this,
too.
man. Yeah, man. That's what we grinding for, So specifically, remember we spoke about it before. You talk about perseverance. What are some specific trials? I know you spoke about injuries. Like, what are some specific trials and tribulations that you have to overcome, even off the field, to get to this point of your athletic and personal life? Like, to get to,
Right.
where you are playing Division I, and just achieving your goals, that you set for yourself. What are some obstacles specifically or trials that you have to overcome that could really inspire some people or kind of give people a different insight?
So I would say two trials that I went through that were pretty major in my life. One was when I was 16 years old, getting ready to play summer baseball for a travel team, which we played different tournaments around the country and stuff, and college coaches come see you. I went to a tryout, and I felt like I performed pretty well, but I got stuck on the C team, and I was bummed out, man. I was like, man, this is not how it should be or whatever. But believe it or not, being on that C team helped me be in a tournament that I wouldn't have been on if I was on a better team, and helped the school that recruited me see me in that tournament. And so I mean, it's really one of those things where in the moment you're like, man, like, why is this happening? Like, I'm kind of stuck down here. But then looking back on it, that was God putting me in a position to get recruited by a great school and to have a great opportunity ahead of me. And then another trial, probably the biggest one of my life, was this past football season, my senior season.
I remember that.
I had already set my mind. I already committed to play baseball in college, so I knew that this was my last year playing football. And just after our third game of the season, we had a huge win, a big game up in Clewiston, and it was a lot of fun. And the Monday in practice, right after that, I had a freak accident. Ended up fracturing 3 bones in my face. Ended up getting a concussion, and for a while it was looking like, man, I'll be out for 6 months, maybe more, maybe a little bit less or whatever. Kind of a lot of unknown because it's a strange part of my body, but. Yeah, that was one of those things where I persevered through it. I mean, I did everything that was told for me to do, took all the precautions, and My senior season didn't end up getting fully taken. I mean, I lost about 5 games of it, but I got to play in the last game of the year. So
Yeah.
that was truly a blessing to be able to play in the last game.
Yeah, I remember you going through that, you know what I mean? It was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that was tough. You know what I mean? Senior year.
It was crazy because I remember, I'm sitting in the hospital and I just got the news, and then Coach Jose calls me, and I just like, man, Coach, I think it's over. Like, it's going to be it. Like, I'm never going to step on the field with you as my coach again, but God worked in huge ways, and I was able to be on that field one more time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I know you was all emotional about that because you're saying you want to be out there with your guys.
Yeah.
So, but hey, God made it happen.
He did.
You know what I mean? So that's awesome right there. So let's talk about the Ascension, man. Climbing up this mountain. You about to be a freshman at a Division I school. You know, there's a lot of hurdles you're gonna overcome. You know what I mean? 4 years. If you don't get drafted earlier, right? 4 years at this school. So, like, what are some challenges that you see, like, ahead of you right now that you're praying about, or what are some challenges that you know you're gonna have to face in this new season of life in order to reach your goals?
I would say the main challenge for me is really going to be being consistent in my work ethic. I've been starting to get into that this summer, but in the past I've played football and baseball every year, so it's been like kind of half the year is football, half the year is baseball, whereas now it's year-round baseball. I mean, fall season, then the whole spring season, which is what actually counts, like 50-plus games, and then summer season, which is just summer baseball, like a college league or whatever. So that's going to be a real grind, is just having baseball year-round, whereas I'm not used to that. And I feel like the only way that I'm going to succeed in that is if I really take care of my body well, if I'm really consistent in my work ethic with how I'm eating and how I'm working out and how I'm staying in shape and stuff. That's what I feel like is going to be a big challenge to me.
So basically consistency in your diet, exercise, and I guess consistency with your spiritual discipline as well.
Right, yeah. I mean, that's going to be a huge factor as well.
Yeah, that's one thing I learned too, just being a student athlete, just being disciplined spiritually. You know, it's so easy, you know, being disciplined when you're on a team with your food. You got your nutritionists, you have your strength coaches, you got your coaches on top of you to watch film, this and that, you know. Right. And so a lot of times you gotta have that same type of support group, that same type of spiritual discipline for our spirit, you know, because that's what's basically most important. Because our spirit needs to eat too. Our spirit needs to grow as well. So that's awesome right there. So both consistency in athletics and consistency spiritually.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm sure you went through this as well, but that 6 or 7 a.m. alarm to get up for workouts and gotta eat before that and stuff is gonna be tough. But you gotta set it 10 minutes earlier to get in that word before.
One of the hardest things now is going to sleep on time.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because your body needs enough rest. You know what I mean, to attack the day. It's a long day. You have workouts, meetings, then you have class, and you have to go back to these extra workouts or back to film. For me, you know, that's what it was. And so it's really, I remember the cycle for me, it was wake up at 6:15. I live 10 minutes away from campus at UCF, drive to campus, eat breakfast. I think the first meeting was at like 7:15. 7:15 meeting. We had position meetings. People would be in the meeting just all eyes half open, like, you know what I mean? If you get caught sleeping, you're in trouble.
Exactly.
And so, like, you'll be slapping yourself in the face, like, wake up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, I feel you on that. That's big time right there. And so, what can you tell upcoming student athletes, you know, like, what does it take mentally, physically, and spiritually to become an elite athlete? You know?
Yeah, okay.
Because you're elite.
Trying to be elite. Yeah, I would say mentally it's just the grind. I mean, it's gonna suck to have to get up and work out every day and really, I mean, put your body to the limit every single day and then get up and do it all over again the next day. I would just say that's really what you got to embrace the grind. I mean, you went through it. I'm starting to go through it really. Would go through it in football seasons a lot, but physically, I would say, I mean, you just gotta take care of your body straight up. Like you gotta get the right amount of sleep every night. I mean, if you fall behind in your sleep schedule, that's hard to catch up on because you're gonna have a lot of things piling up on you, schoolwork, different extracurriculars, different family time and stuff. It's
For sure.
gonna add up on you. And then spiritually, I would say really be a leader and really stand out within your team. I mean, really be the guy that's different, or guy or girl that's different on your team, and really stand out for Christ in that way. Yeah.
That's awesome. What does your mountaintop look like? What is a mountaintop, whether that's spiritually, career-wise, athletically? What does your mountaintop look like?
So my mountaintop would include all three of those. It would be really my mountaintop would be playing professional baseball and really having a salary where I'd be able to give back to different ministries and different churches and stuff to make an impact for them, but also using that platform of being a professional athlete and really putting God on the pedestal and really pronouncing his word and how he's changed my life, and then just enjoying the sport as well. I mean, that's why we do it.
For sure.
We enjoy it, and we enjoy it. We enjoy it, and we want to glory God, give glory to God through it. So,
Amen.
Yeah.
For the love of the game, for sure. And so,
Exactly.
one last question for you, Johnny. Obviously, we touched a little bit on this. What's the last piece of advice you'll give to an athlete trying to make it to the next level in their sport, whether that's middle school to high school, whether that's high school to college to pro? Like, what advice would you give to that athlete, in their sport? Like what would you tell them?
I would really say you have to be someone that stands out. Everybody does their average workout every day for about an hour and a half, or everybody in baseball goes and hits pretty much every day or throws, but what are you doing to get yourself ahead of the pack by just that much? If you're doing a tiny bit more every day than everybody else, that adds up over a long period of time. So I would say put in the extra work, whether it's 10 minutes on the quickness ladder or just some ab work after you worked out or something, but put in that extra work that's going to help get you ahead in the long run. So
Sure. Amen.
Yeah.
And so that's all we got for you guys. If you guys are new to the channel, like, comment, subscribe. We're going to be doing a whole series of episodes just interviewing a whole bunch of people who are really just trying to pursue something, who have faith, who have dreams, and who are ascending. And so that's it. FDA approved.
Yes, sir.
Johnny Lane, hey, happy for you, my guy. Wish you the best out in college. I'll see you what time you get back.
Not till Christmas break.
I'll see you in Christmas, man. So that's
Yes,
FDA
sir.
approved. We'll see you in the next episode. God bless. Peace.
Good stuff,
That's
baby.
it. Yeah.